James Harden drains out game-winning three to cap another ridonkulous game. At what point do we say the Warriors have a problem? I've been at the forefront of the whatever, they'll get it together when it matters campaign, that we're measuring the Warriors against the impossibly high bar they set. However, the Warriors were crushed at home by the Lakers on Christmas, even with having to leave the game. Next they gave away a fourth-quarter lead to the Trail Blazers and lost in overtime. Then Thursday night they repeated the pattern, blowing a 17-point lead to the Rockets, going to OT and losing again. At what point do we say this is a problem? Thursday the Warriors' problem was named James Harden. He has vaulted himself back into the MVP conversation with a historic run in the last dozen games, 40.1 points per game average in those 12 on a ridiculous 64 true shooting percentage, plus 9 assists and 6.6 rebounds a night. Harden now owns the NBA record streak of games with at least 35-plus points and 5-plus assists at 9, and counting, and he has top test record for consecutive games with 5 or more made threes at 8. Against the Warriors, he had 44 points, made a career-high 10 threes, had 15 assists and 10 rebounds. Oh, and with the game on the line did this. Which, frankly, was instant karma after the Warriors took a 2-point lead on a Curry shot that only happened because the referees somehow missed an obvious out-of-bounds call when saved the ball to keep the play alive. Harden's run has carried the Rockets' offense and propelled the team to an 11-1 run that has taken them from 14th in the West to 4th. The last 6 wins have come without. That said, I'm not ready to say Houston is back to being title contenders. Their defense is 13th in the NBA during the win streak. It's not great. Harden is just covering it up right now. The Warriors aren't playing like contenders, either. In those same last dozen games, the Warriors are 7-5 with a meager plus 1.1 net rating. Curry and are finally healthy, yet the Warriors are not playing with the consistency of execution or passion we expect of contenders. In the final 3:30 of regulation against Houston, Curry and Durant, mostly Durant, took all the shots and were 2 of 8. This roster is thinner. Golden State could use a good in the paint. Nobody knows exactly how good he will be whenever he returns, and the Warriors look older and a little slower. Maybe none of that matters. Maybe the Warriors don't worry. We got this attitude when asked about their struggles. It is right. They are back-to-back champions. Maybe Golden State can just flip the switch. But at what point do we say the Warriors have a serious problem? Spurs fans got their cathartic moment. Despite the fact, when Kawhi Leonard returned to San Antonio Thursday, Spurs fans lustily booed every chance they got and even changed Trader at points, but got plenty of love. Leonard and the "he will make Toronto different in the playoffs" narrative have dominated the storylines around the Raptors and in the run-up to this game. DeMar DeRozan, the guy that was the reason the Spurs went with the Toronto package, the guy pissed he was traded from a city and franchise he loved over the summer, dominated the game and reminded the world he was part of the trade, too. DeRozan came out of the locker room hotter than a Tex-Mex salsa with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in the first half. He finished the game with his first ever triple-double. DeRozan finished with 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists, and the Spurs got the 125-107 win. Overlooked in that was bullying on his way to 21 points on 14 shots, or that had 20 points on 10 shots. The Spurs were the classic efficient Spurs. Which is why they currently are a playoff team, tied for the 7 seed at 21-17, in the crowded West. One final thought: Toronto misses a lot. And they missed a lot in the paint, also. The first round of fan voting is in, and if we went by that, the All-Star captains would be LeBron James and, remember, the new All-Star format has the fans picking the 10 starters, who are thrown in a pool. The captains choose teams playground style. That makes perfect sense. They are 2 of the best players in the NBA this season. The other 8 in the starters pool would be Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and really, fans? Wade, who comes off the bench on a struggling Heat team and is playing replacement player level basketball, but you want him over or Kyle Lowry. I love the Rose comeback story as much as the next guy, but you're picking him over James Harden or? And Doncic is the Rookie of the Year frontrunner, but if you're picking him over, you're doing it wrong. That said, it's an exhibition and fans vote their heart. So if they have, who I think entered the NBA during the Taft administration, 7 in the East frontcourt voting, so be it. Or if they vote DeMarcus Cousins, who has yet to touch the court for the Warriors, 10th in the West frontcourt, so be it. I'd say give the people what they want, except the NBA is not going to do that. Remember, the fan vote counts for 50% of the total, with a player vote making up 25% and a media vote making up the other 25%. Plus, the fan vote will shift as more votes come in. Which is good. Also fans, you can stop voting for, he's not going to be playing, but his 10th and fan voting in the East Guard somehow, despite a down year before his injuries.